Hi friends, this is Carmen. Welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. My channel is all about balcony gardening with succulents and cacti and houseplants in an apartment setting. So if that's something that interests you, please make sure you hit that subscription button down below and make sure that you join our plant community here. I am in a little bit different location. I'm on the floor. We'll see how I'm able to get back up. But I wanted to give you guys an update on the propagation, the 3 different types of propagation that I did on my 3 different ficus trees. My 3 different ficus trees. And I had some success. Yeah. But I also had some failure too. And I'm going to go over all of it. The good, the bad, the ugly. Okay, so stay tuned and we'll get to it. Okay, so about the beginning of April, I decided to do some propagation on 3 different ficus trees. My fiddle leaf fig tree, my 2 elastica trees, and I decided to do 3 different types of propagation. Air layering on my Ficus elastica and water propagation on my Ficus elastica taniki, and she's over here on the side, some sphagnum moss propagation for my fiddle leaf fig. Now let's start off with what worked. Okay, let's start off with the good. So as you can see, the fiddle leaf fig that I had cut a piece off, one of the 3 stalks that it has, gave off roots, and I'll show you some footage here of when I took it out of the water propagation. This one was in water propagation, and it immediately started giving off roots in water propagation, much quicker than all of the other than the other 2 types of propagation. So this guy was way ahead. So it even put off a new leaf while it was in the water propagation. And then on, oh lordy, I don't know if you can see it here. I'll try and get better. It's giving off a couple of new little growth points on the one stalk that I cut. So it is, even though I cut it on top, down below the tree is giving off new grow points, and it's also giving off new leaves. I'm gonna have to move it, stake it, but I'm gonna have to move it also from underneath the table back here because it's starting to touch the bottom of the table. It's just not fitting there. So I'm going to need to move that pretty soon. But I would say that the water propagation of the Ficus taniki was my best results. Quickest and best results as far as the piece that I propagated and the mother plant that's giving off new shoots. Okay? Now, second, as far as success, more or less, kind of, maybe, is the elastica ruby. And this one here was the air layering one. Now I did do an IGTV video about 2 weeks after I did the air layering, where I opened up the moss and took a look at it, and it was starting very tiny, starting to give off little roots. I decided at that point to change the moss, add fresh moss, and then also put some rooting hormone on the part that I took the bark off the ring, and I let it be. And then about a week and a half ago, I decided, let me just check and see what this is doing under there. So I opened it up, and the top part just went bloop. It flopped right over, and I thought, that is not good. That is not a good sign. And what had happened, and I'll show pictures here, the part that was connecting the mother plant to this part, where I had taken the bark off, had dried up and basically rotted, so it could not sustain it anymore. So at that point I had to abandon the air layering because it wasn't going to work. The whole idea was that it would give off roots, and the two nodes on either side of that ring. And at that point the ring had fallen apart, so that was not going to work. So I moved this then to try and save the top part to water propagation, and I left the mother plant alone. So I moved this to water propagation. It had given off one long root while it was in air layering, and then it gave off more roots while it was in water propagation. And then when I potted this guy up, I potted this one up too and put a stake in it for both of them just to give them security. Although this one has really good roots, this one's roots are not as well established as the other one. It will continue growing good roots in here, and I'll maintain the soil moist also. But I think what failed on the air layering was that, and what I would not do if I had to do it again, which I would do air layering again, but what I would not do is remove the bark from that area. I would just surround two nodes with moist moss and wrap it in saran wrap or whatever, and do the air layering that way. I would not do the ring again because I believe that this stock may have been too narrow, too young, too mature to do that type of method. But doing air layering without the ring would have worked. Now, oh lordy, she is giving off a point there. You can see there is a little point right there that's going off, and it's giving off leaves up top. I did put a stake in it to try and straighten her out because she was kind of leaning. So the air layering was a success and not so much. It did give me some roots, but not enough where I wanted it to be all on the mother plant still and then cut it. I had to save the piece with water propagation. So partial success, I would call that. So let me move this here. Let's move on to total failure. Now, make some room here. Watch out, Rosie, coming through. I have this one on wheels because it's like really heavy. So the fiddle leaf fig. Oh, my fiddle leaf fig. How I love you. I had cut 3 pieces from down below. Let's see if I can. From down below there. You can see it's giving off growth down there. But I had cut from there to put in sphagnum moss. Thought, you know, sphagnum moss has been such a great grow medium for me in propagation. Let me try it with this. Well, it failed miserably. It really did. And I had to try and save the one little strand that was left into water propagation. All the leaves had fallen off. The other 2 stems had dried up. And this one even is not looking good. There was no, I thought at one point right here there was going to be some growth, but it didn't. I even had to use like a little wire to keep it from falling down into this little jar. So I'm going to throw this away. I've only been saving it really to show you that that sphagnum moss one did not work for this. I think if I initially had put it into a water propagation, maybe it would have, but the pieces were too far gone when I tried to save them from the sphagnum moss into the water. I just couldn't save them, even though I thought maybe this one. But the mother plant, it did ignite it to grow more from below. which is fine, I guess. And, you know, it's giving off new leaves and everything. I would have rather it look more like a tree, but that's fine. I'm going to let it grow, and I'm not going to, you know, mess with it much more because I did cut off 3 pieces from it. This little guy I'm going to throw away. So, lessons learned from all of this? For me, at least, water propagation seems to be the easiest and the best for all 3 of these ficus trees, and definitely easy to do. The air layering I would try again a little, but change up my method a little bit, and I think I would be successful in that. I'm not going to do it right away. I'm going to give that tree, that Ficus elastica, some time to rest and get some more growth in it. Maybe I'll try it on something else, but the sphagnum moss I think was the one that for this type of tree, more woody stems, I don't think it works. I think it would work better, the sphagnum moss propagation, what I've done before as far as philodendrons, pothos, things like that, that are softer. So there you go, you know, who knew? So, but I'm happy with the results. I mean, I still have my 3 beautiful trees that are growing and doing well. I have 2 new trees that are going to grow and do well, and I'll find a new place for. So overall, I would give it a B minus maybe. If I were in science class and getting a grade, maybe a B minus. But you know, I'm pleased with it either way. So let me know down in the comments below, friends, if you've tried any of these types of propagation, and or maybe you are thinking of trying this propagation. Let me know down in the comments below. I'd really love to know. But hopefully you can gain something from my experience and maybe try it out on your own ficus trees. Okay, now if you want to see the original video where I do the cuttings, I'll link that up above here so you can check that out. But thanks so much, friends. I appreciate your being here with me today. Make sure that you hit that subscription button and give this video a like if you enjoyed it, and I will see you in the next one. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.